Good afternoon. The Secretary General and the Prime Minister will make short statements, and then we'll have time for, I'm afraid, just one or two questions. Secretary General.
Prime Minister al-Sarraj, welcome to NATO Headquarters. It's a great pleasure to see you again. We last met in the UN in September, and it's a pleasure to continue the dialogue with you. We just discussed the security situation in Libya, and progress is being made in the fight against radical groups. And ISIL has been driven out of its former stronghold of Sirte, and I welcome that progress. Prime Minister, I commend you for your efforts to ensure an inclusive political process in Libya. This is important for your country's long-term stability. At the same time, Libya continues to face serious political and security challenges, and we urgently need a political solution to the crisis, based on the implementation of the Libyan political agreement. NATO supports you and your government as the sole representative of the Libyan people. As you work to stabilize your country, several allies are already providing military and economic support, and I welcome the support from several NATO allies. During our meeting today, we discussed how we can take our cooperation forward. NATO stands ready to assist Libya in building effective security and defense institutions, strengthening your ability to fight terrorism, and create conditions for peace. Looking to the future, we could offer advice on establishing a modern Ministry of Defense, a joint military staff, and security and intelligence services under civilian control. NATO's Operation Sea Guardian is already supporting the EU's Operation Sophia in the Mediterranean, with logistical support and information sharing. If requested, we could also support the efforts of the European Union to strengthen the Libyan Coast Guard and Navy. This could help keep the Mediterranean free from smuggling and terrorist activity, a strategic priority both for NATO and our partners in North Africa. Prime Minister al-Sarraj, I look forward to continuing to work with you. We share a commitment to a stable and prosperous Libya so that your people can enjoy the peace they deserve. Before I end, let me address the situation in eastern Ukraine. We see the most serious spike in violence in a long time, especially in and around Avdiivka, and we see that the ceasefire is not respected. There have been over 5,600 ceasefire violations in the past week. This is according to the latest updates from the OSCE. The humanitarian situation is dire, with 20,000 people facing freezing temperatures without heat, electricity, and water. We call for an immediate return to the ceasefire and withdrawal of all heavy weapons banned under the Minsk agreements. OSCE monitors must be guaranteed free and safe access throughout the region. This must include Ukraine's border with Russia. We call on Russia to use its considerable influence over the separatists to bring the violence to an end. All parties should implement the commitments under the Minsk agreements in full. NATO will continue to stand by Ukraine with strong political and practical support. So once again, welcome to NATO Headquarters, Prime Minister. It's a great pleasure to meet you and to discuss how NATO can provide support and support your efforts to stabilize your own country and to implement the political agreement. Welcome.
شكرا السيد يانس على هذه
الكلمة
الطيبة. أنا سعيد جدا بالتواجد في هذه المؤسسة العريقة ناتو. شكرا لدعمكم حكومة الوفاق. أحد مخرجات الاتفاق السياسي ونسعى للعمل معا لإيجاد استقرار والأمن في ليبيا. طبعا جاءنا لزيارة مؤسسة الناتو بخبرتها العريقة لإيجاد تعاون لرفع قدرات المؤسسة العسكرية والأمنية في ليبيا. نعلم جيدا أن المؤسسة العسكرية في ليبيا نتيجة الانقسام السياسي نتيجة الأحداث ال5 سنوات الماضية أصابها كثير من التشظي. الوضع السياسي ألقى بظلاله للأسف على المؤسسة العسكرية. نعمل على لم شمل المؤسسة العسكرية على إيجاد توافق بين المؤسسة العسكرية وتكوين مؤسسة واحدة نعمل من خلالها على مواجهة الخصم الأوحد اللي هو الإرهاب ومحاربته. هناك كثير من التحديات اللي تواجهنا كحكومة وفاق بالرغم من الظروف الصعبة. نعمل على إيجاد الدعم الدولي ومؤسسة ناتو أحد هذه المؤسسات اللي نأمل أن يكون في تعاون وثيق بيننا لرفع قدرات وتحسين أداء المؤسسة العسكرية وإيجاد هيكلية نعمل من خلالها زي ما ذكرنا لمكافحة الإرهاب ومكافحة كثير من المواضيع الأمنية اللي تؤرق الليبيين وتؤرق المجتمع الدولي، الهجرة الشرعية والتهريب وإلى آخره. مرة أخرى أنا سعيد جدا بالتواجد هنا في هذه المؤسسة مع السيد يانس.
I'm very glad to be with you, Mr. Secretary General. Thank you.
We'll start with al-Arabiya.
Nordin Fridi from Al Arabiya. Mr. Secretary General, you expressed very clearly your political readiness to assist Libya, but is there any concrete assistance that NATO can provide to the government of Mr. Sarraj nowadays, because this is the time when he needs he needs a lot of assistance this time, and at the same time his government doesn't control the whole country. And I have a question to Mr. Sarraj. لو سمحت سيد رئيس الوزراء، إلى أي مدى التقارب بين روسيا والمشير حفتر يساعدكم في يعني الاقتراب من الحل السياسي، وإن كان هذا الحل السياسي بينكم وبين المشير حفتر لا يزال بعيدا؟
First of all, we provide strong political support to Prime Minister Sarraj and the government of national accord because we strongly support the efforts to try to find an inclusive political solution to the crisis in Libya, and we continue to express this strong political support. Second, we are ready to also provide practical support, and that was the issue we discussed during our meeting today. Of course, to provide practical support, we need a request from Libya, but we are ready to, for instance, help Libya with building defense institutions. This is of great importance because you need strong institutions to make sure that you have political control over the armed forces, and we see the importance of that, especially in a country like Libya. NATO has done that before. We have done it in Bosnia, we have done it in Afghanistan, we have done it in other countries where we have helped build strong defense institutions, making sure that the political leadership have control over the armed forces. So this is about building a modern Ministry of Defense. This is about building a joint military staff and security and intelligence services under political control. Then we have the Operation Sea Guardian in the Mediterranean, and Operation Sea Guardian already provide support to Operation Sophia, the EU mission there, with logistical support, with information sharing, and this is of course also important for Libya. We are also ready to help develop the Libyan Navy and Coast Guard, if so requested by Libya. So I think that the key issue now is that NATO allies are ready to provide support. Many, or at least several NATO allies already provide support on the bilateral basis. but also ready to provide support to NATO. But we have to sit down and discuss exactly how we do this in the best possible way. And NATO has tried and tested structures to do exactly that, to build local capacity, to enable them to take full responsibility for security in their own country.
طبعا قبل الحديث على العلاقة مع روسيا ومع أي طرف آخر، أعتقد هدفنا واللي نسعى حاليا إلى توحيد المؤسسة العسكرية، إلى إيجاد مؤسسة عسكرية واحدة من خلالها نقاوم الإرهاب، لا يكون فيها انقصار لأي شخص. لدينا من القيادات العسكرية ومن الخبرات العسكرية المؤهلة لقيادة هذه المؤسسة العسكرية، لكن كما ذكرنا الانقسام السياسي والوضع السياسي خلال السنوات السابقة أدى إلى تشظي هذه المؤسسة، ونحن من خلال حكومة الوفاق نعمل إلى إعادة توحيدها. بعدها يمكن الحديث عن العلاقة مع كافة الأطراف الدولية، ولأعتقد أن الوضع الحالي كل الأطراف الدولية تسعى إلى مساعدة ليبيا وإلى دعم
all of them are keen on helping Libya and on bringing about stability. But before talking about those relations, we have to unify our ranks.
Belgian News Agency?
Yes, Gérard Gaudin, Belgian News Agency. A question for the Prime Minister. Are you ready to open the territorial Libyan waters to Operation Sophia and possibly to Sea Guardian?
تم الحديث بالسابق على هذا الأمر.
Yes, we spoke in the past about this topic.
من ناحية السيادة هناك طبعا المياه الإقليمية، لو كان في أي شيء يكون بقيادة مشتركة بين القوة البحرية الليبية وأي طرف آخر يود مساعدة في هذا الأمر. قبل هذا نسعى إلى تحديد الأسطول البحري الليبي، نسعى إلى رفع قدرات الأسطول البحري الليبي، وهذا أعتقد سواء مؤسسة ناتو أو الدول بشكل ثنائي يمكنها مساعدتنا بشكل كبير حتى يمكننا أداء دورنا بشكل كبير.
Thank you very much. This concludes this press point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.